Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday
Hello.
to you. Happy Sunday to you. Who's the early bird today? Who was the early bird? Sandra
Give
was
us
the
thumbs up out there
early
if you can hear us
bird.
okay.
Yeah, make sure. We want to make sure that you guys are hearing and seeing us. We had some technical difficulties on Thursday, so let us know if you can hear and see us well.
Because what I'm going to talk to you about this morning, you need to make sure that everything is open and on. Because I'm going to tighten it down this
He's
morning.
raring to go. He's raring to
I
go.
almost made a scene and a class without you guys and just put it on there. But I want to wait for you guys to get what I'm going to say to you today.
So hello, Sandra and Pat and Tanita. Hi, you guys. I'm glad you guys are with us. And Joe, I'm glad you're here. Good morning to you. Hey, Keely and Martin, they're in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Oh boy.
Oh, wow.
Let us know. Are the trees turning? Is it pretty up there? Hey, Lori.
Lori, yeah.
And Cynthia, I am glad you're here. Dee Dee and George, I'm so glad to see you. Hope you guys are doing well. Marlon, glad you're tuning in to us. Miss Kessler, I'm so glad to see you.
Miss Kessler, I'm going to say some things to you today that's going to stagger you. You might be staggered now, but I'm going to straighten you up.
Yeah, we're praying for you, sweetheart. We're praying and believing the best for you. Hello, Sue. I'm glad you're here. Sissy and brother-in-law, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Apostle Norman.
Norman J.
In South Carolina. Jill, good morning. Good morning, Tanita. Tanita says she can hear us. Good.
Okay.
Good. Hey, Jude. Hey, Judy.
Oh,
hey,
Lord,
Pearl. I hope you guys are getting good reception. We had a little technical difficulties on Thursday. Not sure why. But anyway, we're here today live and in color. They said they can hear us good. Okay, great. Good morning, Bernie. Good morning, Verdi. You and Johnny. All right. He said, Marlon said, all is well in Soundville. In Soundville, yeah. Okay. Yeah. And Judy said, yes, please, Rev, let's do it.
Who said that?
Judy.
Okay.
She said, let's do it. Hey, Phyllis and Edward. All right. So you want to go ahead and jump in? Because you are raring to go.
Read these scriptures that I want to read something out of the book. We don't have to read them for me to tell you, but I want you to hear this, that I'm going to tell you. It happened to me Saturday morning between 3 and 5, and yesterday in the grocery store.
You going to tell us?
I want you to read first.
You want me to read first? Okay. And the one you want is the one in Mark?
Yeah.
Mark
10. I want this one in Matthew's, the one on the list that you gave me.
Well, I've got the list, but which one out of the list?
Just start out of the first one.
You want to read all of them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you guys hold on and keep your ears open.
All of them. Hold on a second. I have to take my glasses off so I can see.
Well, I have the first one here.
Go ahead and read the first one, and then I'll get the second one, okay?
And Jesus, going up to Jerusalem, took the 12 disciples apart in the way and said unto them, behold, we go up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man shall be betrayed to the chief priests and unto the scribes, and they shall condemn him to death, and shall deliver him to the Gentiles to mock and scourge, and to crucify him, and the third day he shall rise again. Okay? That's it.
Yeah, and we're reading from the old King James Version, so it have all these and thous and all the emphasis and stuff on the end. But anyway, in Mark 10, and this is Mark 9 and verses 30 through 32, it's the same passage, but Jesus said this more than one time. Yes. So I'm not sure exactly when.
Whoever put this in here and put it like it is, they might have put the D down this in there. But the basic thing is, you guys are ready to hear the fact that if a Bible or a book was not written to us, you would have still found out what I'm getting ready to tell you eventually.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true. So this passage is in Mark 9, chapter 9, verses 30 through 32. Yes. And it reads like this. And they departed thence and passed through Galilee, and he would not that any man should know it. For he taught his disciples and said unto them, the Son of Man is delivered into the hands of men.
Yes.
And they shall kill him. And after that he is killed, he shall rise the third day. But they understood not that saying and were afraid to ask him.
Okay.
And then there's another one where he said this pretty much the same thing.
Each one I'm saying, but it's a little bit different, but I'm going to give you the true essence of it.
And this is in the 10th chapter, in the 32nd verse. It says, and they were in the way going up to Jerusalem, and Jesus went before them, and they were amazed. And as they followed, they were afraid. And he took again the 12 and began to tell them what things should happen unto him, saying, behold, we go up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man, he called himself the Son of Man.
Call yourself the Son of Man, a daughter of, okay.
The Son of Man shall be delivered unto the chief priests and unto the scribes, and they shall condemn him to death, and shall deliver him to the Gentiles. And they shall mock him, and shall scourge him, and shall spit upon him, and shall kill him, and the third day he shall rise again. And then there's another passage in Luke. I'll go to that one. Luke 18 and verse 33. And they 31, I'm sorry. And then he took unto him the 12 and said to them, behold, we go up to Jerusalem, and all things that are written by the prophets concerning the Son of Man shall be accomplished. For he shall be delivered unto the Gentiles, and shall be mocked and spitefully entreated and spit on. And they shall scourge him and put him to death, and the third day he shall rise again. Now notice he's talking about himself not in first person.
That's true.
Yes, and he's calling himself Son of Man.
That's true. But he was using the ego, a surrendered, yielded ego that was broken and finally yielded itself as an example for all of us. Now, here it is.
Yes.
You got another one?
No, I was just looking to make sure I had them.
I was asking him, Spirit, show me more of you. But I didn't realize that what I was looking for, I was already. I was already. You are already that. Now, some people take faith and call those things to be not as though they are. You're not going to call anything as though you really are. You are seeing who you really are without calling it anything.
Yes. Yes.
You don't have to call it. You see it. You don't have to pray for it. You don't have to fast for it. You don't have to study for it. And I'm convinced that every last one of us on this site today, you're here because of something that is so intricate that it literally puts devil, darkness, distance, and removes all space and fills it completely in a perfection of your identity.
Yes.
This thing struck me so I did not think I was going to quit crying and travailing. It was so. And now I'm going to give you the negatives. And here's what it came up to. On the other side, before we call it the other side as a reference to the mind.
Right.
But it's really no
other side. Yes.
On the other side, we chose in our infinite mind, God, Spirit, eternal, infinite, no other self than God's self.
Omnipotent self. Yeah.
We are the God self waking up in this.
Yes.
We are the same spirit in each other. I have settled, cleaned it up, polished it, and waxed it. I am fully persuaded. This knowledge may seem like it's coming from the head, but it's coming from the heart. Your heart is where your mind can't go unless you take it.
Yes, yes, yes.
And you have taken this thing. You took the pill and you swallowed it. Before you came here, you chose to die in every situation. You chose to die, and the way to die, you chose before you came here out of many evolutions. You died in some of them the same way. You experienced it in a different way. Each, if it was millions of dyings, you put that in motion. Nobody lost it. What Jesus said there when his crucifixion, he described his own death of his body.
So he knew he had expiration and lived with that, not so much in fear of it, but in the knowledge that whatever he had to do it quickly. Remember, he said he said to Judas when he betrayed him, said, whatever you do it quickly.
He prophesied. He spoke it because he was fully awake.
Fully awake.
I'm giving you fully awake information. I'm giving you fully awake inner formation.
I like that. Inner formation.
This cannot be disturbed by ignorance. It cannot be disturbed by sickness. It cannot be disturbed by anger. It cannot be disturbed by depression. It cannot be disturbed by the loss of a loved one in a family or even your body dying. This cannot be disturbed by the lack of fellowship with each other. It cannot be disturbed by going to the right church. It cannot be disturbed even by you feeling like you haven't fulfilled everything in your life. It cannot be disturbed by anger, murder, destruction, fire, brimstone, hell itself.
Yes.
The power of darkness cannot touch what I'm saying to you this morning.
Now, you just mentioned inner formation.
Yeah.
There's a scripture in Galatians that says in the 4th chapter, my little children of whom I travail in birth again until Christ be formed in you.
Ah, that is until Christ be fully. And put Christ in this body.
In this one.
Each body that you got into, listen, you chose a certain way to come here. If your mama had a C-section for you, or if you came and turned around and went back, your mama, as the eternal self, chose everything that happened to her in life. Now listen to this.
We all did, didn't we?
Yeah.
We all did. And this passage that we just read about that inner forming of Christ is why we have spiritual teachers. It's why we have sages. It's why we have gurus. It's why we have pastors. It's so that Christ would be formed, and that inner formation would take place.
We chose what we are going to do. Listen to this. In the eternal essence, every person in the hospital, I'm not agreeing with those who said he took away all of our infirmities by the cross.
No.
Push the book to the side. It's time for you to lay it down to the side and go for the gusto in this thing. Everybody in surgery right now is in this. Everybody that is talking this morning is in this. Here's the nugget. We chose everything we are going through right now, from every minute to every second, every person, every step, the ground we stand on, we chose before the foundation of the world. And even before that, look nowhere else, because what I'm telling you, you have found it. You are the findings, the losing and the findings of God.
So we're the founders of our life. We're the founders of this life.
There is no such thing as destiny.
Wow. Wow.
There is no such thing as destiny. Destiny loses its hope by facts. Destiny lost it. It cannot hold it.
When I don't know when Jesus came into that realization of the purpose of his life and how it would end, and then reconciled himself to how it would go, and not go into resistance. Because most of us, if he were living in our day and had heard the faith message, he would have gone against it and tried his best to change it, but he didn't. And Pastor Norman said this, that the Son of Man, he said in Philippians 2:7, that he was obedient unto death, meaning he knew that there was an expiration, and he surrendered to that.
Here's another one. We chose in infinite, in full finity. We chose how we're going to die in our bodies. And listen to this. We also chose different suits before coming here and before going into other lives, other experiences.
Now, let me back up, because I know Sue says we can unchoose. And that's one of the reasons I mentioned that if Jesus were living in our time and hearing the faith message, he would have gone against his own purpose, because he would have tried to change it. We are so afraid of facing our mortality, or the mortality of this body, that we try our best to unchoose it.
Let me get rid of that right quick, Miss Sue. Our infinite identity unchose, and is still our choice.
Yes, that's right. Yes. Even when
you're not going to get independence from this. We're not going to let the ego independenциze you.
So even if there is an unchoosing,
the touch of what do you call appendix? Appendix. We're gonna move appendix out of the way. There is no such. Even if we unchoose, it's unchoiced.
So you're saying even our choices have been made already.
Let me put it to you like this.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Let's wipe this choice thing out and unchoosing right completely out.
Okay.
We are the God of ourself.
Yes. Choosing or unchoosing.
Choosing or unchoosing is still not. And what I'm basing it on now, wait a minute, don't get your bloomers in a knot. Pull them up. Pull your pantyhose tight. Tighten up your brassiere strap.
Okay.
This is grown God folks self talk.
Maturity.
Yes.
Maturity.
I'm breaking it down ABC, because the next breath you're going to take will be without a breath. With a breath or without a breath, you are the eternal self. And let me tell you something else. Hold on. You are the speakings of God without a mouth. You are the hearings of God without ears. You're the moving of God without taking a step. My God Almighty.
So what you're pointing to, and you are pointing, you're not teaching.
No.
You're pointing to an us that is not physical.
Mm-mm.
And thank you for pointing to
We
us it's not physical.
chose in this story how to choose or not choose.
Mhm. Mhm.
We laid this thing down before anything. There was nobody else but us.
And Jesus said that no man can take my life. I lay it down. You remember he said
Yeah.
that? Mm-hmm.
We chose. Before we came here, we talked to everybody in every event. The trees, the birds, and everything. You cannot get this from college and institutions. You ain't gonna get it going to the graveyard talking to somebody's body that they ain't in.
It's dust now.
Come up to the high place. Come up. Come up. Come on up. Come on up to the level. Stop playing around the mulberry bush. Stop playing around the riverbank, because you're going to fall in eventually. And I'm pulling you in this thing because it's time for us to see God in person.
Yes, sir.
In true identity. Put it like that.
Yes.
Lord have mercy, Jesus.
Judy says we're totally responsible for our lives.
Yes.
Every day.
Yes.
I am not a victim.
You chose the way your body gonna die. If I make it simple enough for you, you chose the way you're gonna die. Mm-hmm. You also chose the vessel that you were gonna, and you tried them out. You done been born in everything that can be described in infinity. You put it together, and I take nothing from God, but I make God in you and your ideal self here in this world, in the story of this dream. I bring God to the forefront of your awareness. Wow. All of us chose what type of sickness. Denture wear, teeth,
limitations,
way we are going to die, and we pick the time.
Yes, we did.
When you go to the grocery store, look around real good. You and those bodies and those spirits being put yourself in charge. Let me tell you something what happened yesterday. I've been saying for a long time with a speaker on my television that I need to get a new battery for
the remote.
The remote. I've been saying it for a long time. I slipped out of joint. After this happened, I saw what I was going to do that I made.
I just had an epiphany.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
You know the issue you're dealing with your back?
Yes.
It's the slipping out of joint.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God.
If you don't ever hear me say this again, you hold on to this one. Out of all the classes that we've taught and in the YouTube, hold on to this one. Hold on to this one.
Even now, I understand the purpose of the color of my body changing back and forth. It's because I haven't settled who I'm going to be. I got it.
You chose everybody you walk past for you and them to walk past the God self. So I decided, I say, honey, I'm going out and get a battery for this remote. I went to the store and I picked up bananas and I looked for the battery, and I had to ask a young girl at the counter to tell me where they were. When I got back to the place where the battery was, it wasn't but 2 packs, and I got one of them. It was there waiting on me. I looked all over the batteries in the same voltage, but they didn't have any more than those 2. I took those. Well, I was coming back to pay for this. A lady come down the aisle and stopped me. At the moment, I didn't recognize who she was, so I took the intuitive path. of seeing Jesus in her form.
Mm-hmm.
When I did, she began to talk to me as though she knew me and been around me. And as she stood there and talked to me, the light come on.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go to Crown Dodge Jeep in Greensboro, North Carolina. I used to leave my Jeep over there, and I can look now and see where I created that service. I created that company, that business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And in order for me to leave my Jeep and get home, I had no other way to get home. They have a distance that they would drive it. This girl drove me over there and then came and picked me up. And it's been years that I hadn't seen her.
The same one that was waiting on you at the store.
The same one at the store.
Wow.
And I looked at her. Her hair was different. And she was really hyper. You would say she looked like she was acting like a man, but she was not.
Okay.
I just want to describe the energy that I was looking at. She began to talk to me about how you're doing. And here's what she said. I don't work over there, she said, anymore. He said, because they won't let me work. She said, since I've seen you, I said, yeah. So I just went on with like I knew what she's talking about.
Because you didn't remember her.
I didn't.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And she said, I developed cancer of the bone marrow.
Oh, wow.
And she said, I've been living and going off of donors.
My God.
I had a chance to tell her what I'm telling you. I said, you and your divine self agreed to having this bone cancer. And you also created those donors. You came here to find those donors because they needed to use their bodies for yours.
Yep.
And that was Jesus Christ nailed to the cross again and being raised from the dead. That was you.
Yes. Yes.
I stood down with the...
Yes. Wow, that's good.
I stood there with the mask on, and I couldn't hardly see for the tears coming down my face. I thought I was going to be out of control. I didn't think I was going to be able to drive back home.
Wow.
I saw.
And this is my first time hearing it, guys.
I was going to tell you when I came in, but I said, I'm going to hold it. I said, I'm going to let everybody hear this. I deliberately created this happening. Glory be to the God identity.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to clean my eyes a little bit here, and I'm going to give you some more now. I sat in there, and I saw the Spirit walked my consciousness, awareness, all the way through my life. Sister Hill, Sandra, Sue, all of you on this class today, everything that you went through when you grew up before you call yourself knowing God, everything, there is no such thing in you as not ever knowing God. You know God because you are Him and He's you. He decided, you decide. When you go back in the course and in the Bible, change everything in that way as an independent and make it become you. You came to earth. You have never left the earth. You cannot be isolated in good and evil.
Wow.
You don't need to walk in forgiveness because you're it.
You're already walking in it.
You are the forgiving steps.
So that does not
recognition
forgive, and recognition that does not forgive is not who you are. Yes, yes.
How was Jesus going to die? How you going to die? You already know it.
Now this message is so relevant now because of what's happening in our country and in the globe.
Let me tell you what he said. This. Hold your bloomers now. He said, everyone that dies from the COVID, the damn panic, They signed up for this.
Yes.
Trump signed up for what he's doing. Trump signed up for his ugly attitude. Orange, purple, green, blue,
Careful.
black.
Be careful about that.
Okay, I'm just telling you the truth about it. We signed up for every vote that we voted not and for.
Yeah.
We signed up for every restaurant that we go to wear masks. Everybody, about 1,000 now, that are going to catch this thing and cross over or not cross over. I kept asking him, why do some go into this and cross over and come back and some don't? He said it was in their script. They made it like this. Yeah. You fixed it like this. Every time you got married and didn't work right for your family, you fixed it like that. But if you married and worked it out anyway, you fixed that like that.
So now, have we fixed everything?
Yes.
So that, well, before you say yes, not did we fix it?
I don't have to wait. I know. Go ahead.
The purpose of it is what I'm talking about now.
Yes.
Did we do it so that it would be for our good, or did we just do it?
Both sides.
Okay.
It's no.
And the reason I say that is because most of us want to know why we go through stuff and why other people have to do that. Why? But they just signed up for it.
The reason why I see everything, because down through my solar plex, I see nothing but yes.
Because you see it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Lord have mercy. Talk to me, somebody.
They're talking to you.
All of us chose
Judy
this.
said she feels the truth of this. Yes.
It is something that I can't say you find out. It is unveiled.
Now, Sinette gives us another comment. She says, yes, that is my experience as well. I just started to ask myself, what is the learning here? Higher self, what is the truth in this?
Your inquisition. That's the way you're supposed to ask.
Always
it's got to be loaded like that.
And it always gives a loving, surprising aha, resulting in me laughing so hard and feeling the relief.
Take the full load of the responsibility now, honey. There's no such thing as you missing God.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can't miss. They always say a rose can't smell itself, but you can.
Mm-hmm.
They always say you can't count the stripes on a zebra's back. You can. And I'll tell you something else. You know the reason why you can? Because you created that thing.
Yes, yes, yes.
Now, I'm going to pause in there to refresh you, a refresher, and pull up the credits. I'm speaking this to your eternal spirit identity.
Yes, yes.
It has nothing to do with salvation. It has nothing to do with, all right, if I make it salvation, here's what I'm going to tell you. I am the Savior as well as the salvation that was created by all of us. We set it up like
we
this.
are our own saviors. That's as right. Well. Yes.
Now that's not egotistical.
No, it's
I can
not.
feel.
It's
I can
not.
feel the. I can feel the line.
Yeah.
the hairline fracture.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Katrina says this. She says this very conversation made it easy to attend my cousin's funeral yesterday, who passed with COVID.
That's right.
There were a lot of emotions that I sat there understanding now what this is really all about.
Mm-hmm.
And I dare say that even we're looking at it from an individual point of view, but even about nations, there are contracts written about nations. That's why the prophets could prophesy what nations would do before they do it. Because it is written already. So I hear that. Our lives are already written.
Yes.
It is written.
We are the writings.
It is written. And I remember Jesus saying often, it is written.
So you might say you did something wrong and you missed it. So what? That was a setup too.
That was written as well.
Now listen to this. I'm gonna caution you with this grace now.
Okay. Because
just because you find out you're a monkey, you don't have to show your tail.
Right.
You know, you don't have to sit around and say, the devil made me do it anymore. You can see the devil if you want to. You can see evil if you want to.
Be
If you don't want
you can
to see
be
it.
the devil
Yeah,
if you want to.
but you still infinite.
Mm.
I want to say this to you because some people say, well, I can go around and do anything now because I created. You're going to get your butt busted too because you're going to bust your own butt.
Well, you're saying for us to listen with our hearts and not with our egoic minds.
Somebody said crucified and crucifiers.
That's right. That's right.
It's the package deal.
Jill said that.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
This is what Jesus meant when he said, I'm going to die a particular way. Now, how deep can you go into the rabbit hole? Deep enough to find this. Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't find that. You know it now, but that's all right. The revelation hit you, and even if you don't have an experience with it, you ain't gonna get by with it because I'm telling you, that's all it is. Now,
wow,
what was going to take place when you woke up this morning? You fixed that. You did that. How you're going and what you're going to do today, you created that. Some things you create as you go, and other things you create as you come back.
Most of what we create as we go. There are very few things we do that we planned.
We know who is going to stay over there and who's going to come back.
Yes, we do. Mm-hmm.
We also know that those who go over there and go to hell, they create that. So don't need nobody to tell you to go to hell over here because that ain't good enough to make you change what you done already created.
Mm-hmm. Jill says it's a setup. Well, it seems a setup to the personality, but you are the one that set it up. You are the setup.
This is called the sure mind of Christ. Mm-hmm. How many mamas? Let me tell you something. You chose. Look, I went. Let me tell you what he showed me in this past review. My mama chose out of all of my brothers and sisters. We call them half brothers and sisters, but we wasn't allowed to say. She smacked our face around like Daffy Duck Bill. You ever seen a cartoon with Daffy Duck Bill? They got hit and that thing just went around their head. Well, she smacked your head like that. She told me one time, she said, even though I was downstairs living with my uncle and my daddy favored them, I'm going to tell you exactly what she told me. She said, I'll whoop your ass and send you down there and bring you back and whoop it again. And I would run. She said, I'll come down there and get you. She said, you mine.
Okay.
My mama and my daddy set it up for me and created everything that took place. I'm going to just say personally in my life. She could not in her physical body die until I gave her the rites of passage with 3 others in the room. I didn't want to go. I was trying to create a reason to not go see her cross over. But the override system took over and I said, yes. I don't like to do funerals. I like to do weddings. But then at this point, I've come to a place where I've created for 35 years, I made a building and people to come together with us in Cornerstone LIFE Center, and you and I have created this event this morning. I'm not gonna do this thing that they say, I come to you the most honorable way I know how. I'm coming to you in boldness.
And with transparency.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, you will never be the same after seeing what we're talking about this morning. Okay? And some of you already knew it before I came. She was beaten, and y'all heard me talk about beyond recognition, but she survived it. I saw how this took place. Before I was born, before I came into this world.
Mm.
That was supposed to have been another sister that I was supposed to have. She came and went back so that I could come. My daddy had children by my mama, and it was me and a sister. She's on the other side. And I created this thing, and they created together.
Mm-hmm.
My daddy's family told my mama that they wish my daddy had married my uncle's sister.
It's a lot of.
There's a lot of changes. I'm just telling you some of the detail. But I saw this day, I saw my mama created the event of me being with her at the last minute.
Right, right. So you're actually saying there is no need to resist everything
That's right.
that is presented to us in this life,
Mm-hmm.
because we did set it up that way.
We set up all the pain and the suffering.
Not really knowing why while we're here in this body.
We fixed it so we
and may not.
We fixed it so we when we got here we would be blindsided.
Because it can't serve its purpose if we know fully.
We knew the whole thing and worked it out.
Mm-hmm. So it's working. Even like I remember what Judy said, she's still trying to reconcile what happens to other people and why certain things happen, tragedies and things like that happen. But even that, those things are working something in that inner formation. That even the feelings you have behind that, Judy, is part of that inner formation, isn't it?
Yes. Judy, I'm going to tell you something, honey. The reason why there's a part of you that's dealing with this is because there is a part of you that understands it. Yes. But there's a part of your mind that keeps asking the question.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to try to bring you to the forefront of this question as the answer. You have to keep saying that because you're going to give yourself the answer.
Yes. Yes.
And the answer is this. This is what I'm giving for me. I'm not talking about what I'm not sympathizing. I'm not being empathic. I'm just being right to the point. You did it all without any questions. But you also did it all with questions. Yes. So I'm not going to lose what you said, and I'm not going to take away. I'm not going to add to it. I'm just going to put you right in the middle of it and let you see what you're doing right now. You created it, and you're doing it again. Mm-hmm. This ain't the first time you asked this question, and you're going to keep on asking it because that's what you designed your questions to be. But you're still okay.
And kind of veer off just a little bit.
Go ahead.
In the Hebrew, the word for path is called netiv.
Okay.
Netiv. That's Netiv.
Okay.
And it means a personal route, a path blazed by the individual for his personal use. It's a hidden path without markers or signposts, which one must discover on his own and tread by means of his own devices, walk finding his own way.
Judy, we went so deep into our identity that when you finally woke up here and waking up over here in this, you decided that one of the main questions that you're going to ask, what about the suffering? Let's go into the mystical side of our creation. Jesus said it, I was sick and you did not come to visit me. I was hungry and you didn't feed me. I was in prison, you still didn't come to see me. He said, when you've done it to them, you've done it to yourself. Yes. When you love yourself as God love is yourself, these statements will settle the dust around every area of suffering and pain. But now listen.
Yeah. But I've discovered, and I know you're saying the same thing,
Mhm.
that there are some questions that no one can answer for us. That it is then our own path that we've got to discover. And I wrote something else down.
Go ahead.
There are 32 paths of wisdom called
Mhm.
netiv.
Ooh.
Private paths must be blazed by the individual. And listen to this.
Mhm.
There is no open highway to the mysteries.
Mm.
There's no this is a mystery, Judy. It's a mystery, and there's no open highway to it. There's only one way you're going to find out the answer to it, and that is by blazing your own path, that hidden path, and finding your own way. You're going to have to find it, excavate it within yourself until you come to the
You are
conclusion.
your own trailblazer.
Yes. Each individual must discover his own path.
What she say there? I am.
She said, I'm just crying in the truth of this.
Yes, you are. And every tear that is being dropped from your heart and your eyes is being caught by your angel standing right there. I saw you in this picture shake your head. I can see you moving, Miss Judy. I can see you saying, yep, just like that. I saw. I just
We're
saw
looking
you
at your
moving.
picture, sweetheart.
Yeah, I'm looking at you. I'm talking to you, baby. And I just saw a light and an orb, an angelic, a spirit orb right around you, right next to you, on the right, on your left shoulder, me facing on your right. That light said, bing, like a star. I can also sense the fragrance of a smell of something beautiful around you that is opening up. Your rose of Sharon is beginning to blossom and bloom. And now the fragrance of honeysuckles and oranges and lemon smell is all around you right now.
And we're right there with you, Judy.
God Almighty.
We're right
You
there with
are finding what Jesus said you would find, and that is yourself and others as your way.
Yes, yes.
Now go back to the infinite side of the pandemic. When the quota is met, they can speak it out. You can religiousize it and prophetic it out and say it's going to be golden in this day and this minute and how many weeks. Don't pay it no attention because they were supposed to say that. But what is going on in the deeper mysteries of God, and the definition of the word mystery is those things that are out of range of unassisted natural understanding that can only be discerned by the divine revelation and illumination at such a time.
I'm going to give them a real summarized version of mystery.
Oh, hey, go ahead.
It's the mist story.
Oh.
The mist story is what it is.
Oh, you know why you said that, KEYI May? Because you know who you are, and you know who they look. Look at it now, with tears of joy or tears of sadness. It's okay.
Yes.
It's okay. Yes. The universe is saying okay, and I'll tell you something else. By finding this out, the universe is ready to receive its next instruction under your feet.
Universal intelligence. So again, there are some questions you will have that no man or woman will ever be able to answer, because it is intended for you to blaze your own path, to find the mist story yourself.
Faith come by hearing, hearing by the word of God. Okay, let's change it. Faith is you and you hearing.
Yes.
And finding out you are the word of God in low humility.
That's so good today. You were just out of sight.
I'm not going to be able to finish this, but I'll tell you what.
I know, but it was just so good.
We are in everything. When you go to work tomorrow, if you go anywhere tomorrow, you set it up.
Yes, sir.
The source, The source of God is so strong inside of you that everything you're doing now and this evening and tomorrow, as the source, you're putting it in row. You're putting it in line. You're placing it. Every card, every stoplight, you set it in motion. Every word that you hear today, inward and outward with no mouth moving, you created that. You created that. You created that. Oh, that mercy you did. We did, and we still doing it. We can't stop. We're tearing our reverse out going forward. We can't stop. Hoover Dam and Dan the Dam tour guide is about to lose his job. He set that up.
Because it's drying up.
It's drying up. You are now understanding why the earth is going through a metamorphosis. You and the earth. I went into the council room in the archives of God and in the hall of records and in the place of council. I saw the glory cloud of Moses in the chamber, and God had let me see it and heard it talk to me. Your feet now are ready to be spoken to because your steps are ordered and you set these prints. You put the maps in your feet so that you would never walk away from God. You'll never walk away from it because you set it up in the mind of God, and you can't lose for the kind of stuff you use. Lord have mercy, Jesus. My God, I speak to Christ. I told somebody, I said, I want to call forth the Christ in you in full power, full awareness, full strength, acknowledging the fact that you are the one with no anger, with or without.
That's such good teaching, Reverend. That's such good
Oh
teaching.
my God, I see it.
Such
I see it. I see it.
Yes, you really do see it. And you've conveyed it to us today. You've conveyed it to us today.
I saw a man walk up to a door, and he used his key to try to get in the door. And he'd been using the key for thousands and thousands of years in earth time. But this time his key wouldn't work. And I looked at him, and I found out why his key didn't work. He had created the key. I had created along with him. I stood behind him. He stood in front of me. We created that too.
Yeah.
I just walked up to the door, and the knob opened. Let me tell you what I saw on the other side. I saw everything on the other side, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yes.
On the other side of the door, not any of it could interfere with my divine position as being the door itself. I saw it.
Oh,
Jesus.
Boy, this has been good.
Is this
it's been good to me.
Yeah,
yes, this has been so good to me.
Thank you so much.
They're saying thank you to Pastor. Thank you for sharing.
I wish I could. You know, I used to ask the Lord, I said, when I go on the other side, or whether I say go in that mindset, and I want the people that I'm talking to go with me. I said, how can they go with me when I'm seeing it? He said they can track you. Let me say this right quick before we close.
Okay.
Over the years in 1 Corinthians 12, I studied about the gifts of the Spirit. You go in there and just look at them, the miracles, healing, prophecy, and all that. I worked in that area. I did not know till now that all that I created in the classes that I taught many of you about how to get these gifts, and I could tell you how to work them from the side of separation and ego. But if you get these gifts operating in the manifestation in your life, you will shipwreck if you're not cautious of understanding the ego. When you find out the ego in these areas of the gifts of the Spirit, let me tell you, I have studied men who could actually put parts back in people's bodies, and I've seen it happen in our life.
Yes, we have.
You can do that, but the only thing that will shipwreck you is
It's the ego.
your ego, because all of a sudden
You feel special.
people will come and
Mhm.
they'll search you out, and it
Mhm.
will swell your head up. You could go right now into every hospital and empty every floor, but the results of that is news reporters and everybody want to call you to the side. You first thing you gonna say out of false humility, I think I need to stay away from them. Listen,
So you become inflated.
I saw in the vision a man set a baby on his leg that was completely paralyzed and crippled, and healed the child. And they want to make a publicity scene of it. And the person got up and hid and left as though he didn't do anything. Now listen to this. You can get these gifts of the Spirit to operate through tilling the garden, laboring to enter in.
Mm-hmm.
One labor and one plant
effort,
personal
effort applied.
One
Yes.
sow and one reap.
Yes.
You can go that way, but listen to this. I found out how you can get them by waking up to your true identity.
And when you say get them,
When I say get them, you don't really get them.
You don't really get them.
I'm just saying it like that because that's the way I taught it. But in actuality, they are the natural temperament
of your being.
You coming
of your
from,
being.
You came from the planet Krypton.
Yes.
Okay. And you are now Superman, Supergirl, Superboy, but your veil is finally been opened where you can see.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you are now the gift of God.
Yes.
Let's relax now. Take a deep breath and let your identity be finally settled.
Yes.
This morning.
Yes. Yes.
If there's any questions you want to ask inquisitioning, that's okay. Mm-hmm. You set that up too.
Yes.
You ain't missing nothing.
And you set up if nobody ever answers it, you set that up.
Hey.
Yeah.
If you got the telephone before they hung up, or if you didn't get the telephone call, you still set that up. I'm sorry, honey. I just took away all your toys, didn't I?
No, you didn't.
Oh,
no, you didn't.
I gave you a different sandbox.
You gave us a whole lot of truth today.
Yes.
And we appreciate you so much for tuning in to us. Again, we'll be back on Tuesday at 7. I just enjoy coming and meeting with you guys every Sunday, don't you?
Mm-hmm, I do
because
too.
It's like when we talk to you guys, it's like it opens us up to even more. So you are portals for us as well as us being that for you. And we thank you so much for your comments. Even when we sound like we're correcting you, we're really not correcting you. We're just pointing to that is deeper than what you've seen already. So we love you so much. Don't ever stop commenting. Don't ever stop questioning. And we'll be back on Tuesday night at 7. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.
Oh, Lordy. We're going to kill a rock record train and there, peace, how to catch rheumatism, tie it down on the right side of the road, left side of the road, and hold it in the middle and keep on working.
And thank you for giving. You guys have been doing tremendous with the giving. And hey, Leslie, we love you, sweetie. Thank you for the gift you sent us.
Yes, thank you so much.
We appreciate all of the gifts you guys have sent
Leslie,
us.
I hope you heard everything that we taught today. And if not, go back and pick it up. It'll bless you all the way down to your pantyhose.
Not many of us wear pantyhose anymore, but yes. We love you guys too. We love you too, Vincent.
You can take your underwear, throw it up in the air, and they won't stick to the ceiling.
Oh no! Oh gosh!
Because we just clean you out right there.
Oh my Lord!
That's really crude, but you need to hear it like that, honey.
Yes.
You need to hear it. Stop acting ugly now. I can go ahead and take it. Take your NyQuil. Take your medicine. God, Jesus is your doctor. He brings all of your medicine in your room.
Bye.
See ya. Thank you for the gifts.